Yo, Miss Neverheart, how's it going?
Oh, hey, it's going good. How's everything with you?
Good. You know how I do.
Okay, so I've been meaning to ask you something.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Well, I've been making these videos for some time now, and I have this pithy little square. And you have this wide open space. So, I guess what I'm wondering is, what is it like being in high definition?
It's actually really nice. You wanna try it?
Really? Can I?
Sure, come
Okay.
on. Wow, this is really nice. Look at all this space.
Yups. Pretty nice. So would you like to do the video from here?
Yeah, I think we could do that. Can I do my title?
Okay. So you wanna tell them about the initiative?
Sure. Yeah, the Transgender Initiative is a new group that's being formed at the LGBT Center of Raleigh. We're focused around the idea of community for transgender and allies. So if you're transgender, cisgender, genderqueer, or whatever, everyone's welcome. We do 2 meetings a month, and you can find out more information at the website. And do you want to talk a little bit about the channel?
Oh yeah. So, we have been a big fan of collab channels, and in general, actually just trans vlogging, because, Rebecca and I really, when we were in a position in our lives where we didn't feel comfortable or safe transitioning, we would watch these YouTube bloggers, like I really liked Candy FLA and Carmatic Purple 10, and you watch...
Rift Girl.
Yeah.
And Grishno.
Yeah, all of which are great, and a lot of them still doing videos. You should totally check them out. And, God, I just remember how much that meant to me, and I want to do more of that. So we decided we're going to have members of our group. We're basically going to pose a question each month, kind of like how Trainy Star Galactica does, but just once a month. And members of our group will sort of answer the questions, and we'll get input from y'all as to questions you'd like to ask, or we can even get other people using videos to respond to thoughts that we get on YouTube, and we'll just sort of go from there. I think it'd be a cool kind of collab channel because, we get sort of local community, but we're reaching out broadly. YouTube has done a sort of huge favor for both of us. They've really helped traffic on our websites and help us connect with a lot of people. I mean, it was the reason we actually met in the first place was we both found out we were here in North Carolina. And, yeah, and, besides YouTube doing a bunch of great things for us, there's just been a lot of really just amazing things that have happened to us, which is why today's topic...
It gets better.
Okay, so we were talking about the fact that it gets better, but I mean, what does that mean, like, for you? Like, how is it better now than it was before? I mean, what were things like before?
Well, for me, I was just a very closeted individual. I was friends with everyone, but I kept everybody at a distance. So everybody knew me, I knew everyone. Everyone thought I was really happy, but I was miserable. I would go home and just kind of cave in on myself. Since transitioning, though, and just kind of coming to terms with myself, I just feel like a much more complete person. And it's allowed me to be confident in myself and my relationships with my friends and family and new acquaintances. And as well as give back to the community. So I think for me, it's gone from being someone who doesn't participate, who doesn't care, who's just a passenger in their own life, to someone who's taking charge of their life.
Yeah, and I feel pretty similarly. I was reading an autobio by trans British travel writer Jan Morris. It's called Conundrum. Y'all should check it out if you can. And I remember the way she used to talk about living her life like an observer in it. Like, I always used to associate, like, she had this weird feeling, and, like, when I read that, like, synapses just fired in my brain, I was just, like, where she talked about, like, feeling like she was just going to just kind of die at some point, and just, like, and it was just going to happen, and she just knew it. She knew it was going to happen young, and she would just be, she was never on the chessboard in her life. She was always just standing off to the side, so, like, no one would notice, She never really felt like she was really tethered. She never really felt like she belonged here. She was just sort of floating around, and that's how I was. I mean, I was really, really unpopular and self-conscious and quiet growing up. You know, I was a huge geek. You know, and that didn't really help things. That was before like Geek Chic hit. You know, it was just like so.
Much better geek now.
What'd you say?
Much better geek now.
Oh yeah, no, geek is hey, that was a thing. She did a thing. It was put down. I do not feel brought up. She put me down. Anyways, but no, I mean, it's like it feels like things in my life like have a cost, like they matter, like I do things and they have an effect. Like I couldn't just vanish and no one would notice. You know, like I realized that people actually do care about me.
Which is the same way I felt.
Yeah.
That, you know, my life didn't really matter because it wasn't really my life. You know, it was like living somebody else's life for them. I was just controlling a vessel.
Yeah. So
I felt very similar in that way. In that, if I were to just fall off the face of the earth at this point, it wouldn't really make a difference.
Yeah. Because I mean, you know, who are we? You know, we were just. I mean, I don't know about you, but didn't you feel selfish, like wanting these things?
Yeah. I mean, I think in a way, transitioning is a very selfish act, but it's a needed selfishness because you need to be able to love yourself and take care of yourself before you can really be effective for the people around you, if that's something that you want to be.
Yeah, and I think people immediately go to extremes. I think they think to themselves, "Oh, well, you know, if I want to do something for myself, that's terrible. Like I shouldn't do things for myself. I should just, you know, I should serve like everybody." Like this is something I've just met in a lot of trans people where they became huge people pleasers, you know. And I know for me, I mean, I know we're different people, you know, depending on who we're talking to, but I would really like fine tune every individual relationship I had with somebody to make sure that I was exactly as funny and exactly as engaged as I needed to be for them to like enjoy our relationship sufficiently. You know, because I was trying to avoid, you know, being abandoned for being who I was. And you know, that's sort of one of those questions people think a lot about with It Gets Better. Like, I don't know, for you, what did you think was going to happen if you did come out?
I mean, honestly, I expected my entire family. I expected to be abandoned by everyone.
Yeah.
Family, friends, my wife and partner.
Yeah.
I really just expected that this is going to come out and it's just going to be the end, you know? Like, there would be no future from it, and that's why I avoided it for so long. So, but having come out, it's a complete 180 from what actually happened. I mean, of the, you know, dozens of people that I did share myself with, we're all in very good terms. Some of my relationships have even gotten better, especially with my wife. I mean, we started off in a very shielded relationship. We didn't really talk and discuss the things that really mattered to us, and now we do. And we both have grown so much in that. So that's been a lot better for us.
Yeah.
Much better relationship and much better people. We're just more solid people.
Yeah, and likewise, like I thought I would be getting lucky to just be abandoned, you know. I mean, I figured people would just like, you know, harm me. Because I mean, like, you know, when you're growing up, you know, you're kind of like a blank slate, you know. You take pieces of people you meet and things you see in television or in books or in movies, and you take the things that you like and you make your identity out of it, right? But people don't grow up with like, you know, anyone who's transitioning now didn't grow up with like trans characters that were positive or, you know, that weren't played for laughs to like emulate and adapt and learn traits from. So if you're not getting anything from media, you just assume you really don't exist, that you are the only one. Part of the reason I love this, you know, Transgender Initiative group that we've started up is because it's really powerful to just be in a room of people with shared history. Because like, I never did like pride events before, and I still haven't, and I mean to, but it's just like, a lot of trans people I've met, you know, always would sometimes feel weird about them because it's like, you know, you didn't expect to see any trans people there, and like, you know, we're so used to feeling our lives alone, we're not really accustomed to this idea of there could be someone else someone else there with me that I could just be with. Like when we did the support group for our first time on Monday,
huge turnout.
Yeah, like that's more trans people than I've ever seen in one room. That was awesome. And the great thing is that there wasn't that pretense, you know, like people just immediately just cut loose. I thought it would be like very somber, but instead we just like made jokes and like talked about our lives like honestly.
Yeah, and I mean people were comfortable with themselves and free to share how they felt, regardless of it. And then I mean there was no holding back, so because we all kind of came from the same background.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about trans issues, it's comforting to have that facial interaction, because I mean, we both found a lot of support off of the YouTube community, but there's much different interaction that happens when you actually meet people in your area, going through the same thing, going from different directions, like trans guys. I don't know anything about trans guys, and now I know a lot of things about trans guys.
Yeah, there are trans guys in this meeting. We are not representative of the kind of trans representation you get.
We're a good representation.
Yeah. Fab. Look at this. Wasn't that beautiful? Is my hair better now? It's not. It's not. You don't need to lie to me. You could lie to me a little, though. I could use the eco boost.
You look great.
Yes. See? Truth. We speak it.
Yes. Because it's gotten much better.
It has gotten better.
Much better.
Anyways, but no, and that was the great thing, is that, you know, like, likewise, when I came out, like, things were way different than I expected. I didn't lose anybody in my life, and, you know, maybe best of all, you know, not to say that your life should hinge, you know, on your relationships or anything, because I know there are plenty of trans people who aren't, but it's like, it's so freeing to have a relationship with someone that you know is like, it's like complete, it's yours, it's honest. And part of the reason is because, you know, we went through some tough stuff from other people and not from each other when I came out, and that just made us a lot stronger. And even better is, you know, over time, I've been able to let go of that idea that someone would just date me, you know, like out of pity or out of some need to save me. Like, we're having a complete, honest relationship with each other that has nothing to do with, you know, whether or not my title is gay or trans or whatever. I just love her, and she loves me, and, you know, it's really, I never knew what it was like to just sort of be loved and, like, know that it's coming from, like, a certain place, that that it's real, that I could believe in it, that I could subscribe to it. And, yeah, I don't know, I mean, it's way, I'm sorry, it's obvious, but Jesus, it's so much better than oh God, I just buried myself in so much crap and pain growing up, and it's
emotionally a much better space to be in. To be honest with yourself and be honest with the people that you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's gonna allow you to grow in who you are and hopefully give back. You know, don't forget that if it wasn't for the people that came before us, we couldn't be living these lives. And if it's not for how we live our lives now, you know, the generations that come up behind will have it much better than us.
Yeah, and, you know, as a sort of a parting thought, that's part of the reason I enjoyed watching YouTube vloggers so much, is because, you know, it wasn't, you know, sometimes they were going through really, or sometimes often were going through really somber or sobering or hard experiences in their life, but it's like, there is a huge difference between feeling bad and not knowing yourself, and feeling bad and having some grasp of your identity, knowing who you are. Like, it's way easier to go through tough times if you're just yourself. Like, it's a fixed point in space. You can hold on to it and say, whatever else is going on, I look fab. You know.
I agree. Much better.
So much better. And before we repeat better again,
yeah.
Eek.